compound interest that compounded annually. So our objectives: compute interest, maturity value, and present value in compound interest, and solve problems involving compound interest. So ang focus ng video lesson nito is how to compute the maturity value or tinatawag natin future value, and then yung accumulated interest na makukuha kapag compounded annually. So first, what is the formula to find the maturity or the future value and the compound interest? So we're using this formula. F is equal to P times the quantity of 1 plus R raised to T. So where P is the principal or the present value, F is the maturity or the future value at the end of the term, and R is the interest rate. So remember, so kapag ang given ay naka-percent, so we need to convert into decimal. And T is the term or time in years. Since this is compounded annually, so yung time lagi natin dito is 1, or yung term natin is 1. And the compound interest, so is given by, so once na nakuha natin yung future value, so that is F minus P, or the future value minus the present value. So for example, find the maturity value in the compound interest if 10,000 is compounded annually at an interest rate of 2% in 5 years. So dapat malinaw sa atin yung mga given bago natin i-substitute sa formula na gagamitin natin. So ano yung mga given natin dito? First, so since nakalagay naman dyan, no, na ang kailangan natin kunin is maturity value, so therefore ang 10,000 na yan is the present value or the present value amount. So that is 10,000. So next is yung rate natin. So 2%. So sabi ko nga kanina, so dapat i-convert natin into decimal. So that is 0.02. Kung nakalimutan kung paano i-convert into decimal, so pwede nating mag-move tayo ng 2 places to the left, or simply you can divide 2 divide 100. So para makuha natin yung 0.02. And yung term or yung time natin is 5 years. So ang hinahanap natin is the maturity value and then the compound interest. So unahin muna natin yung maturity value or the future value. So magkano na yung pera niya after 5 years. So sa kanina sinabi ko yung formula, that is P times the quantity 1 plus R raised to T. So ang gagawin nyo lang ay substitute all the given values. So 10,000 times 1 plus 0.02 raised to 5. So you can use your calculator. Okay? And then the answer is 11,040.0.81. Okay? So ibig sabihin after 5 years, so ito na yung pera niya from 10,000. So ano pa yung pinapahanap dito? The compound interest. So kunin natin yung compound interest. So magkano ba yung tinubo ng pera niya? So from 10,000, magkano yung nadagdag? So the formula is future value minus the present value. So the future value is 11,040.81, or that is 0.81. Okay, hindi ko na-check. Okay, so again, so ano yung nakuha nating future value? That is 11,040.81. So using the formula, so 11,040.81 minus 10,000, so makano yung yung compound interest? That is 1,040.81. So ibig sabihin, yung 10,000 niya kumita ng 1,040.81 after 5 years. Another, find the maturity value in interest if 50,000 is invested at 5% compound annually for 8 years. So again, so kailangan malinaw sa inyo ang mga given values. So yung present value natin is 50,000, and then yung rate natin is 5%. So i-convert natin into decimal, that is 0.05, and then the term is 8 years or the time. So, anong hinahanap natin dito? Hinahanap natin, again, yung maturity value and then the compound interest. So, using the formula, substitute nyo lang yan. 50,000 times 1 plus 0.05 raised to 8. So, you can use your calculator kasi mahirapan kayo kapag kinompute nyo ito manually. Alright, so 50,000 times 1 plus 0.05 or ang gagawin nyo muna, add nyo muna to and then raised to 8 times 50,000. So, that is 73,872.77. So, that is the future value. So, after 8 years, yung 50,000 niya, magkano na? Naging 73,872.77. So, magkano yung compound interest no, after 8 years? So, magkano yung kinita niya sa loob ng 8 taon? So, yung pera niya lang is 50,000. So, compute natin kung magkano yung compound interest. So, that is future value minus the present value. So, 73,800 okay, so 73,872.77 minus 50,000 and that is 23,872.77. So, yun yung kinita niya after 8 years. Next, suppose your father deposited in your bank account 10,000 at an annual interest rate of 0.5% compound yearly. When you graduate from kindergarten and did not get the amount until you finish grade 12, how much will you have in your bank account after 12 years? So, again, kunin muna natin yung mga given values. So, ano yung mga given natin dito? So, first is the present value. Since yan yung unang amount na dineposit ng father, so that is 10,000. So, ibig sabihin that is the present value. And then, yung rate natin is 0.5%. So, once na kinonvert natin into decimal, that is 0.005. And then, ilang term? After 12 years, so T is equal to 12 years. So, ang hahanapin natin dito is kung magkano, no? Magkano na yung amount ng 10,000, no, simula nung kindergarten siya, kung i-withdraw niya after niya graduate ng grade 12, so magkano na yung pera na yon. So, using the formula, so that is P times the quantity of 1 plus R raised to T, that is 10,000 times 1 plus 0.005 raised to 12, the answer is 10,612.78. So, ilang taon? 12 years. So, bakit masyadong mababa lang yung nadagdag sa pera niya? Kasi class, tingnan natin yung rate. So, that is 0.5%. Napakababa. So, therefore, pag tinignan natin kung magkano lang yung nadagdag, masyadong mababa lang din. So, kunin natin yung compound pag kinuha natin yung compound interest niyan, so magkano lang? That is 616.78. So, ilang taon? 12 years. So, yun lang ang tinubo ng pera niya. Kasi nga, mas mababa yung rate. 0.5% lang. Okay. Next. So, paano naman natin kunin yung present value at compound interest? So, kapag given naman yung future value or given yung interest, so, paano natin kunin yung present value nung compound interest at compounded annually, no? So, using the formula, so P is equal to 1 over 1 plus R raised to T, or we can use this formula, the future value times the quantity of 1 plus R raised to negative T. So, alin man sa dalawa, pwede natin gamitin. Alright, so where P is the principal amount or the present value, F is the maturity or the future value at the end of the term, R is the interest rate, and T is the term or time in years. So, for example, what is the present value of 50,000 due in 7 years if money is worth 10% compounded annually? So, kitang-kita naman ang hinahanap natin is the present value. So, therefore, ang 50,000 dito is the future value. So, kapag kukunin natin yung mga given values, so F is equal to 50,000 and R is 10% or that is 0.1. And then, the term is 7 years. So, ang hinahanap natin dito is present value. So, sa unang slide, pinakita ko sa inyo kanina kung ano yung formula, how to find the present value, no? So, using the formula, that is F is E over 1 plus R raised to T. So, substitute lang all the given values. So, 50,000 divided by 1 plus 0.1 raised to 7. So, the answer is 25,657.91. So, ibig sabihin, ang present value or yung yung amount, no, na unang nilagay for is 25,657.91. Okay, so yan yung present value. So, tingnan natin. So, after ilang years? 7 years. So, yung 25,657.91, magkano na? Okay, halos kalahati yung nadagdag sa pera niya. Kasi malaki yung interest rate niya. 10% eh. Alright, next. Another, how much money should a student place in a time deposit in a bank that pays 1.1% compound annually so that we will have 200,000 after 6 years. So magkano yung kailangan niya i-deposit? After 6 years, yung pera na yon ay 200,000 pesos na. So ang hinahanap natin dito is present value. So using the formula, or we need to identify first all the given values. So the future value is 200,000 and then rate is 0.011 since that is 1.1%. And then the term is 6 years. So gamitin natin yung another formula to compute the present value. So kanina 'di ba dalawa yung pinakita ko sa inyo. So at this time ibang formula naman yung gamitin natin, yung isa. Ito yung kanina, no? Ito yung kaninang ginamit natin. So let's try to use this formula. So pwede rin yung itong formula na yan, o kaya pwede rin to. So ito yung gamitin natin. So substitute lang all the given values, that is 200,000 times 1 plus 0.011 raised to negative 6. And that is 187,293.65. So, you can check using this formula kung same sila ng sagot. Okay? So, mati-check nyo kapag itry nyo gamitin yung isang formula kung same sila ng sagot. So, ibig sabihin, magkano yung kailangan niya i-deposit sa bangko? 187,293.65 para pagdating ng 6 na taon or after 6 years, ang pera na yan ay magiging 200,000 pesos na. Okay. So, ito yung pagkukompute ng future value and then compound interest saka present value kapag compounded annually. So, ibig sabihin, once a year lang, no? Ang pagkukompute ng compound interest. So, sa susunod na mga video lesson, doon na i-discuss natin na meron na tayong bi-monthly, quarterly. So, may mga ganun na 4 na beses kinukompute yung compound interest in 1 year. So, I hope malinaw sa inyo how to compute the future value and the present value and then the same time the compound interest. Okay, so I'll give you 5 questions. So, pwede nyo i-post yung video, saka nyo i-play. Dahil more on computation kasi to. Okay, for question number 1. What is the amount of maturity value of a loan 20,000 at 6% compound interest for 3 years? Letter A, 23,802.32. Letter B, 23,820.32. Letter C, 23,028.32. And letter D, 32,820.32. Okay, so the answer is letter B, 23,820.32. Next. Number 2, in order to have 50,000 in 5 years, how much should you invest if the compound interest is 5%? Letter A, 39,176.31. Letter B, 39,167.31. Letter C, 93,176.31. And letter D, 93,167.31. Okay, so the answer is letter A, 39,176.31. Next, question number 3. In a certain bank, Angel invested 88,000 in a time deposit that pays 0.5% compound interest in a year. How much will be her money after 6 years? Letter A, 59,673.22. B, 89,673.22. Letter C, 90,637.22. And letter D, 90,673.22. Alright, so the answer is letter D. Next, number 4. What is the amount of interest of a loan 20,000 at 6% compound interest for 3 years? Letter A, 2,000.01. B, 2,500.55. Letter C, 3,820.32. And letter D, 4,101.92. Okay, so the answer is letter C, 3,820.32. Next, for question number 5. On the 7th birthday of her daughter, Shirley deposited an amount in a bank peso bond fund that pays 1.0% interest compounded annually. How much should she deposit if she want to have 100,000 on her daughter's 18th birthday? Letter A, 85,623.31. Letter B, 87,632.21. Letter C, 89,623.35. And letter D, 89,632.37. Alright, so the answer is letter D. So, I hope na nakakuha kayo ng 4 and 5 para ibig sabihin, natutunan nyo how to find the present value, the future value, and compound interest. Kung di man, pwede nyo ulitin yung video lesson para mas ma-practice kayo. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something.